Today is really about is not being able to say that magically I will wake up tomorrow and I will be a different person. No. On a calendar, today is meaningless, unimportant, and forgettable. The calendar does not care. Time will continue after today, just as it has brought us here. What we should talk about instead is what today represents. Today represents the past 14 years of yesterdays and tomorrows as we have changed and grown, not as the result of one particular day, but of many, many years. 14 years of change is finally being cashed in today, and we will each receive a nice fat check from our school, a metaphorical check, don't get excited, to commemorate our deposit. Small change, like finally being able to tie our shoes, understanding the water cycle, mastering foil, these incremental aha moments, these pennies, nickels, and dimes of time banked at school. These achievements are significant, but their value is overrated in and of itself. Many of us can and will, in good conscience, walk out of this room today and, with apologies to our English department, completely and totally forget everything we ever learned about Romeo and Juliet. But that's fine. I do not anticipate using that knowledge on a daily basis in later life. This does not make it unimportant. What I find to be useful knowledge is not what others may necessarily find worth banking. People are all different, and we all need different information to facilitate our personal change and growth. Which brings me to my next point, people. How to treat people, how to understand people, how to tolerate people are lessons that must be learned not in a classroom, but on our own terms. Teachers call this the hidden curriculum. These lessons learned will always be valuable. Yes, I believe that a critical element of school is what we experience socially. There are some things that can't be taught, but must be figured out by putting a lot of teenagers in a building and letting them figure it out for themselves, whatever it is. Even outside of school, our education will continue as we build upon our knowledge about people, learned here and in elementary school. This knowledge is valued like quarters, loonies, and toonies, and when counted and recounted, has a far greater impact on our success than any amount of small change ever could. Mark Twain famously said, "I never let schooling interfere with my education." His words have summed up everything I plan to say here today, so at this point, you are welcome to stop listening. Mr. Twain seems to have understood the key concept that schooling does not equal education. They are, in fact, different things. I would like to add that while schooling and education are different, there is no better location to have both than inside a school. Yes, perhaps we should have done a few more derivatives, or started that essay just a few days sooner, or not left the studying until the night before the exam, but I don't think we will regret those decisions. Thus, we enter the great paradox. You have to waste time, you have to make bad decisions, and you have to mess around and screw up, so you can learn. But you can't do this all the time. If you make a habit of doing nothing, the balancing act of schooling and education crumbles, leaving you with nothing to show for your time. Conversely, if you do nothing but schooling, homework, assignments, and studying, your balance will fail too, leaving you perhaps with profound knowledge of character foils and, what was the name of that Shakespeare play with two people in Italy? And nothing else. As I stand before you today, I can tell you firsthand that I am not a model student. I have received far too many stern warnings to do my homework for that to be true. I occasionally studied for tests and exams and left many assignments until the last minute, but I still succeeded. That's not the point. The point is that while other, better students than I were at home judiciously caring about school, I was hanging out with people, or playing video games, or reading, or doing nothing. I do not mean to say that the student studying at home has learned nothing. No, we all get our education in different ways. All I can say is that had I not messed around and wasted time, I would not necessarily be happy with the person that I am today, and I am happy with myself. These investments of time, whatever we invested in, have all contributed to the value of what we redeem here today. Today, we receive a check, and tomorrow we cash it. Maybe not the first tomorrow, maybe not the second, maybe not the 100th. After all, tomorrow never comes. So perhaps, just as we have learned all along, on our own terms and in our own way, we will cash this check whenever we are ready. This check, combined with the loose change of our personal exploits, makes us powerful people. I do not say that I am powerful or important because I'm a member of the entitlement generation. I say that I am important because I is broader than that. I say I because it represents all of us, this graduating class and hundreds of others across the nation, thousands of others around the globe. An entire generation is made up of these I's. Every single person has an impact, influence, and meaning. Your influence, your meaning, does not have to extend globally. That happens rarely. Your influence and your meaning need only make a difference to those around you. We are meaningful and we are assets. With or without today, we are valuable.